Right. So what can feminist international political economy or global political economy study? I've built this image some years ago, kind of just thinking through like what are the things and themes that feminist international political economy studies. I mean, this is not definitely something that is, not all the possible topics are here, but I just want to show the complexity of the thematics that feminist IPE does. It's not one single camp. It is not something that, but all feminism are agree about what international political economy is and what it does. Feminism itself is a field of struggle because it's about appreciation of difference and it's about power relations. So there are several things that feminist international political economy can study. Basically, anything that we can study in international political economy, we can look through a feminist angle. And that, in my argument, if you take the feminist angle, you get more dimensions compared to the traditional approaches. Right. So there are different theoretical traditions and paradigms that feminist IPE can use. For instance, neoclassical, Marxist, neo-Marxist, liberal, institutionalist, post-structuralist, etc. And these are really quite different paradigms if you think about it. And feminist international political economy scholars can take on these different kinds of paradigms. And that also means that their feminism ends up being rather different from one another as well. And that leads to feminist debates within international political economy scholarship. Right. Then, of course, and this is not unrelated to the paradigms that we should choose, there are epistemological and ontological differences as to what we think IPE is and how we think we can know IPE. So, for instance, positivist and post-positivist approaches within feminist international political economy scholarships. I would probably say that there are more post-positivist approaches in feminist IPE these days, but it is possible to take on positivist methodologies as well, although that might possibly lead to all kinds of debates within feminism and so on. So then, of course, we can take on different theoretical lenses. We can talk about, we can look at international political economy from a feminist perspective, but particularly focusing on and taking on like queer approaches, for instance. And this is actually something that a lot of feminism still quite doesn't do. There are still feminist approaches that are quite often focusing on the binary differentiation between the categories of men and women. And this is potentially also one of the debates that is going on in feminist IPE at the moment. Then, of course, we can take on, and maybe we should look at feminist IPE through post-colonial and particularly decolonial lenses. And maybe then this is also one of the, I would say, one of the contemporary debates within feminism, which has been, like all scholarship in the world, has been dominated by perspectives of white Western scholars, including within feminism, white feminists. So there should be and is luckily more and more ground taken on by post-colonial approaches and post-colonial scholars, as well as indigenous approaches, decolonial approaches. And then, of course, there are, I'm saying that these are theoretical lenses, but these are not only theoretical lenses, they are also standpoints within feminism. Then, of course, we can build on theories such as new materialism, post-humanities. There might be particularly Marxist and neo-Marxist scholars, feminist scholars would begin with categories such as class and capital and so on. But there are differences. So there are varieties of feminist international political economy scholarship. Yes, and then of course, if we recognize that international political economy is a multidisciplinary field of study, it's often understood as being dominated by international relations scholarship, but at the same time, actually, IPE and global political economy is studied widely in fields such as sociology, social anthropology, political science, obviously, and so on and so forth. And the scientific discipline from which we come to these questions also has an impact on what kind of feminist IPE we do. How do we frame the research questions that we ask? And what about research topics? Really, you can take on any international political economy research topic and look at that through feminist lenses or theories or standpoints. Because whatever topic you choose, there will always be gendered power relations at play. And research topics could include such as international trade, violence, capital accumulation, war, armed conflict, gender-based violence, development, global inequality, global governance and institutions, relations of production and reproduction, migration and mobility, global health, social policy, and so on and so forth. So you can really, feminist IPE can study any topic. There is no such topic in the world that there wouldn't be gendered and sexualized power relations at play. And this is what feminism gives us tools to disentangle. So here is a wonderful picture of all those things and more that feminist international political economy can study. Of course, it actually can do so much more. These are just some examples, but just pay attention to the mess. You can really build your research design by combining different fields and theories and topics and methodologies, and then take on your feminist perspective, look at gendered and sexualized power relations therein. But one thing to bear in mind as you do this is that all this, the whole mess, is intersectionally gendered. And we will come back to the notion of intersectionality towards the end of the lecture. Right, before we go there, we need to ask, okay, so feminist international political economy is about gendered power relations. But what is gender?